Let's look at how to make a character jump in a platformer game. So here I have the wolf, and if I click left and right, I can walk left and right on this violet sort of lilac pathway through the sky. And if I press up, is a realistic jumping, going fast and then slowing down and then coming back down slowly and speeding up again. And I can change the parameters over here in the code to come up faster, have smaller jumps, all that sort of thing. So I'm going to go through quickly how we've done that. Firstly, we have a world node, which is just a 2D node, and then we have a color rect for the background here. The floor is a static body 2D, and that's really, really important for the collisions to work. And again, I've just made it of a color rectangle, but you could make a sprite and a collision shape. That's very important. Then here we have the player. The player is a kinematic body 2D. Again, that's the correct one to use for a character that you'll be controlling. And it has a sprite, and I've attached an animation player. I won't go into the animations in this video, but if you'd like to, on the website, go into the animation section. And it has a collision shape here as well. And I could place any other static body 2Ds with collision shapes to make platforms, and I could jump on top of them, etc. All right, let's go and have a quick look at the code in here. Oops, that's not what I wanted. And let's see if I can make this a little bit bigger. Okay, so basically I have, I have set some parameters here. It doesn't want to stay bigger, I don't know why, but I will post this code on the website as well. So I have some parameters here. The move speed is the left to right speed. All of these are in pixels per second. The jump force is how fast you start at the start of your jump going up. Gravity is how much change in that jump force happens every second. And the max fall speed is to stop you from going ever and ever faster when you go down. And we just have a simple velocity, which is a vector 2, and that will be, the X will be left and right movement, and the Y will be up and down movement. Then there is this physics process here. This is to handle the input for left and right movement. I'm not going to go into that. Here's the thing that's interesting, which is the jumping code. So we have var grounded is on floor. So is on floor is basically saying, are we touching the static body 2D? Are we standing on it? And we will use that later, and you'll see how. And then we change the velocity, the y velocity, by the gravity times the delta, because the gravity is how much change there is every second, and the delta is how much of a second has passed since the last frame. And then if we are grounded and the up arrow or whatever you want to do is pressed, velocity dot y equals minus jump force. So whatever the jump force is set, you're going to be hurled in a negative direction, which is up in Godot, and that's going to actually cause the jump. Well, none of this is actually moving the character yet. It's just setting the velocity, and then we'll move it with the move and slide down here. This is very important here. Prevent unseen downward speed build up. So basically, if you're standing on something, you don't want gravity to make you be secretly going faster and faster downwards. So if you step off the edge of a ledge, you just catapult yourself through the down, the canyon in no time at all. You don't want that. So basically, any speed that's sort of getting up there over 5, I've just chosen the number 5, but you don't use the number 0 because it makes problems for the grounded is on floor. And a big thank you to the YouTuber Ms. for that tip. I don't know how to pronounce their name properly. And then this final one here is just limiting the fall speed like we talked about before. Now, all we've done is set the velocity vector so far. So now we actually have to move. We'll put the velocity in there. We don't need to multiply by delta because the move and slide function does that for us, if you'll remember. And then the vector 2, 0, minus 1, that might seem like really complicated, but basically that's just telling it which direction is the floor facing. Now I know that seems weird, but the floor is facing up, and up is -1 on the Y scale. So everything seems a bit backwards, but that's just the way it is. There's just a quick thing to flip the sprite left or right depending on which way you're heading, and then I'm always just making my sprite face the right when I import the images. And then I have some animations here depending on if they're on the ground. We do either a standing or a walking animation, and if they're in the air, we play the jump animation. And I'm not going to go into that because you can check that on the website. Anyway, good luck. I'll post that code for reference there, and have fun getting your, whatever your character is, flying through the air in your game.